What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Rezolve. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's been coming out from the company itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So on Thursday, it did go up 5.26%, so gaining a lot of good traction. In fact, over the last 5 days, it is up 18.64%. And so that signals that a lot of the recent PR that they put out over the last week is exactly what the market does want from them. So even from the recent Sidoti fireside chat, they did signal that a lot of big deals are coming, and even more so in the second half of 2025. So starting off, as you can kind of see, on April the 15th, they put this out. So Rezolve AI secures 9.8 million annual contract with Liverpool, Mexico. So this is a huge deal. Again, they kind of signaled that a lot of these are going to be coming down the pipeline. So I think this is a very good check mark for them. And it does once again validate that they have a good actual product, because yeah, this is a pretty big deal for them. One negative about Rezolve though was the fact that we didn't really know much about their financials, and unfortunately that probably attributed to why it is down 87.47%, because we didn't really know much about them. They're very good at marketing, so even again during that conference that did occur in January, you saw just the momentum from that caused it to go higher to a peak of roughly around $4 or $5 during that time frame. So they are very good at marketing and just kind of portraying themselves, getting good deals, acquisitions, and so forth. So the only negative was their financials, or lack thereof, and they did resolve that, no pun intended on the wording. But so on April the 24th, they are going to be submitting their full year 2024 and second half 2024 financials. So this is going to be a very big deal for Rezolve, because a lot of their recent acquisitions, deals, will be able to find out what are they doing? Is it diluting? Is it cash and cash equivalents? Like, what is their balance sheet? How does that look? And so I think that's going to be a very big deal. And assuming there isn't any crazy skeletons in the closet, their earnings single-handedly could really push the stock back into kind of the recent highs. So definitely this is something to really add to your watch list. That being said, they did something very odd and weird, but they are separating their conference call from their earnings. So again, earnings is on the 24th. The conference call is on the 28th. Even though that is weird, I still do see that as relatively bullish, only because they are allowing the weekend to pass. And normally, so just on a side note for anyone kind of curious, if a company is trying to hide something, they will do a earnings either Thursday or the Friday, just so people will forget about it over the weekend. And then, but this company, by them doing it this way and having the conference call on the Monday, it goes to show that they are confident about their numbers. That's, again, me reading between the lines and so forth. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. But I'm definitely open to live streaming this. So if you are interested in that, let me know in the comments below. But this should be a very big catalyst for the company itself. So that being said, you also do see shorts return some shares recently, because I think it was common understanding that their earnings was going to be sometime in April. So last couple of videos, I said that their earnings was going to be a good catalyst. We just didn't know when in April, but nonetheless, they did return roughly about 5.33% to where it is now at 1.37. So this isn't a squeeze play. It's just good to analyze this type of information. So 1.37% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 1.93 million shares. Moving over to the options, very low volume for them, and so not really much to bring up or analyze. You have a lot of bearishness right here that was done on the Thursday. So 81% of all the options being done are bearish in nature, so nothing really crazy if you ask me. One thing to know and to kind of find out from their earnings is, how is all these tariffs really affecting it? Where, like, because of course not directly, but through a lot of their businesses and what they offer that should really affect retail online purchases. So we'll just have to again hear their future guidance, but you're seeing a lot of bearishness based on the options at least. So maybe they are anticipating a flop on their earnings or something like that, but they only have monthly chains, so nothing really to analyze based on all of that. And so yeah, I think all in all, it is going to be a fun time ahead. A lot of big things coming. Let me know your general thoughts on Rezolve. Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your kind of general 2 cents on all of that? I myself, if it does for whatever reason pull back this upcoming week, I think I'll be a buyer around that $1.30 range. And unless FOMO does kick in, then I'll try to ride the wave up with a certain portion of what I was going to kind of commit. But this stock, I do see a lot of upside coming. And I think given the circumstances, again, without knowing their financials exactly, I think that it's a pretty good risk versus reward, right? And then no matter what though, I think the age-old thing is you need to invest in the management. That's one thing that I think like the market really does like and clearly values, or else it wouldn't have gone up 20% just by those two PRs, is their management. Their management is solid. So I think a lot of people are just betting on them truly succeeding and doing what needs to be done. So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.